Everybody, Tim here for another MCU. We're here. We finally did it. Endgame came out 2019, number 10 of Phase 3, the 22nd movie. Oh my god, this is going to be a long video because we got so much to talk about, so much to go through. Is it a perfect movie? No, it is far from being perfect, but it is a damn good movie. 3.5 fucking hours long. It's so long. I remember, like, Jordan and I saw it in theater. I'm like, don't get a soda. We can't get up to go pee. Just watch the movie. And just everything. I don't even know where to start. Like, the whole opening scene, finally seeing Hawkeye because he wasn't in Infinity War, heartbreaking. Stark and Nebula playing the little paper football. Boop. It's great. And probably a lot of people have pointed out, like, the fact that, like, she wins and the look on her face, like, did I really win? Are you lying? Is great. We finally get to see Captain Marvel in her badassness, which, like I said, Captain Marvel was weird since it was made between these two, or it came out between these two, but it took place long before. That's why I like to watch them in release order and not chronological order. That whole opening scene where they, like, cut off Thanos' hand and then his head, and it's hard. You're like, what the fuck? Like, what's happening? And this movie did so good at just keeping everything a secret. And I remember in the theater when it was like 5 years later. And you're like, what? So the group therapy scene is kind of hit and miss. It's really interesting. And I like how Russo, one of the directors, plays the gay character who it's so nonchalant. He's like, I went on a date. I talked about my work. He talked about his work. Like, they literally draw no attention to it. And then some people I know were like, so why is it even there? Like, it doesn't matter. But at the same time, representation matters. And so I thought it was good. I enjoyed that little bit of a shout out, and I'm still hoping to see Marvel bring out some more gay characters, especially like new Avengers. Like, let's see Wiccan and Hulkling. So I'd love to see that. Scott coming out of the quantum realm, random as shit, but I guess it worked. Like, it was a little deus ex machina, like it just happened to happen right then and there. For him, he was gone for 5 years. For him, it felt like 5 hours. Okay, whatever. The time heist, fantastic. I just love all the references, especially when Rhodey's naming off the time travel movies. Professor Hulk, which that's how I knew him from the comics. Depends. You could ask anybody. Everybody has their own name for him. Smart Hulk, stuff like that. It was interesting. The Love You 3000 was beautiful. Now, I don't know how true this is. I have not done the math. I have not got a calculator. Drunk people math doesn't work. If you take up all the minutes of every Marvel movie, all 23 of them, because you have to include the next movie, Spider-Man Far From Home, it equals exactly 3,000 minutes. So that's where the I Love You 3000 comes from. So if that's true, that's amazing. I'm just going to choose to believe that it's true because it's adorable. The time travel guinea pig scene with Scott, like, he's a baby. He's old. It's just funny. It's cute. The Valkyrie, Asgard, Thor scene, a lot of people really liked that just because, like, seeing Thor out of shape, stuff like that. I mean, for me, I'm kind of a heavy guy. Like, that's why I always keep the camera right here, because you don't want to see the rest of this. And it's like, I mean, it kind of gives everybody a little bit of hope, I guess. Like, hey, if Thor can still be Thor, then who knows what I could do if I had a magic hammer. The Ronin scene is what really kind of killed me. Like, I don't think it needed to be there. Okay, so Hawkeye lost his shit because his family disappeared and now he just kills people? It was a bit much. Like, that, if you had cut that whole part out, you wouldn't have really missed anything. But it does kind of throw a wrench in the Soul Stone redemption scene, which I'll get to in a little bit. So, them looking at, like, all of the stones. Where are the 6 stones? Well, the space, the mind, and the time stone are in New York. The reality stone is in Asgard. And the power and the soul stone are on other planets. So, but that's kind of interesting. Like, and that's stuff that we've talked about. Like, where Black Widow says, like, you know, if we choose the right year, 3 of the stones are all in New York at the exact same time. So, it worked. It was really good. So, 6 stones, 3 teams. The Avengers, who do we have now? We got Iron Man, Captain America, Ant-Man, the Hulk, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Rocket, Nebula, and War Machine. So we have like a 9-person crew kind of splitting each other up. So just to talk about the years, I'll talk about the groups because it's going to get so confusing. There's so much to talk about. New York 2012, great. We're going back to the Avengers, the first Avengers movie, which is the Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man, and Ant-Man team. So it's the 4 of them. Seeing Hulk meet the Ancient One, I lost my shit. I was so happy to see Swinton again from the Doctor Strange movie. And like the fact that she already knows. She's like, oh yeah, Stephen Strange is like, that way. You're 4 years too early. Sucks to suck. And still, it was fantastic. It was great to just kind of that whole interaction was just really well done. And the fact that she just gives him the stone and she's like, okay, if Doctor Strange said there's only one way, then this has to be it. And she gives it to him. Seeing Sitwell and Crossbones from, what is it? Winter Soldier, we get some great references there, especially the elevator scene, because as soon as he walks in the elevator, you're like, he's going to be like, okay, if anybody wants to get out, go ahead and get out. Instead he says Hail Hydra, which I remember in the comics had made a big splash when Captain America had said Hail Hydra recently, as far as when this movie came out. So that was great. We see Senator Pierce return, again from the Winter Soldier. Loki stealing the Tesseract, which is why he's getting his own show in June. I'm so excited. So we'll see where that goes. Cap versus Cap. That is America's ass. It's beautiful. It's Cap's lock. You just go with jokes all day long. It is what it is. It's fun. So because Loki steals the Tesseract, Tony and Steve have to go back to the 70s. Seeing young Hank Pym was great. Like, just, it was fantastic. Tony and Howard meeting for the first time. And Howard even names drops Zola. He's like, where is he? I mean, I'm kind of surprised we don't actually see him because you're throwing everybody else in there. Peggy's return, and not only Peggy, but Jarvis, who they did such a good job of when you first meet the character, and Howard's just like, hey, Jarvis, who's that guy? And Jarvis is like, I don't know. Jarvis had already been in the 2 seasons of Agent Carter. So the fact that they brought him over was fantastic. It was just really, really good. It was well done. And the whole time heist for that group was good. It was really well done. Thor and Rocket going to Asgard in 2013. It was fun to once again see Loki. Frigga is alive. Thor's mom. That was rough for me. Like, as somebody, like, my mother passed away in 2011. My husband has never got to meet my mom. Like, he met my father and my aunts and my uncles and my cousins and my grandparents and everybody else, but he never got the chance to meet my mom. And so when Thor sees his mom, like, it was hard. Like, it was really, really hard for me to watch. And she's just like, you can't lie to me. And he's like, I'm from the future and it's been rough. And she's like, yeah, I was raised by witches, I know. And it was just great. We do get to see Jane again, which I don't know. Some people like have said that those scenes are filmed new. Some people have said like those scenes are CGI'd of the actress, and then some people are like, oh no, they're recycled, like shot differently scenes from from Thor and Thor 2. Like they just kind of like did different angles. I don't know, but the fact that she's going to be in Thor 4, it makes sense. I mean, it does kind of carry the character, so it's great. Thor still being worthy for Mjolnir, whatever. It's super touching. Like, it just shows like depression does not have to own you, and you can work through it. So absolutely loved it. I thought it was really, really good. It was really, really well done. The final team, God, there's so much to talk about. Where they go to Malrag, 2014, where we got War Machine, Rhodey, and Nebula. War Machine and Nebula. And it's fantastic just to watch the like Quill scene where he's dancing, like the opening of Guardians, but from their perspective, like, so he's an idiot. Okay, got it. That's how we're going to do things. Gamora's still alive. Nebula's dual memories is what really kind of throws it off. But hey, I mean, it gives them an opening to bring Thanos back from the dead once again. And then, of course, the last final team is Black Widow and Hawkeye. I did not know. I'll admit it. I did not know who was going to die. Like I said, the whole Ronin thing I thought was stupid as fuck. I didn't like it, but I was like, okay, so they're going to kill him, which is the only reason they could have done it. They're going to like have him die as like a retribution story arc. Nope, they actually let Scarlett Johansson's character just die. Like they just boop. She dropped in theaters. That's a terrible joke. It's terrible. But it was really kind of interesting, and it is very edge of your seat kind of character development. So, I don't know. I know the Black Widow movie still hasn't come out, so I'm kind of excited to see how they do that. Nothing's ever as it seems with Marvel. Like I said, we got Gamora back, and even Thanos came back for a bit. So, who knows? We might actually just see Black Widow return at some point. Once they finally get all of the stones back together, Bruce gets... That was weak. There we go. Bruce gets the chance to do the snap and brings everybody back just in time for the new Avengers building to get destroyed once again. So I was like, fuck, why is this all happening? And the last battle scene is like an hour. It's so long. It's like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But seeing Cap, Tony, and Thor all battling together, it's very reminiscent of their first meeting in the Avengers. And then, of course, seeing Cap pick up the theater, I remember everybody screaming. And it was fantastic. It was well done. And it kind of changes the way you watch, like, Age of Ultron, where it moves a little bit. Some people have said, like, oh, he knew he could pick it up. And as soon as it moved, he stopped. And he was like, okay, I gotta fake this. It was great. It always brings me to tears when, like, Doctor Strange portals open and we see, like, Black Panther and Doctor Strange and Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Man and just Captain America's line where he's like, Avengers, assemble. It was great. It was so well done. And just everything was, it's a fantastic battle. It's just so interesting. I know a lot of people complained about, like, the female scene when all the women, like, team up with Peter. Like, they protect him, and they're like, she's not alone, and you get everybody. And it's so empowering, and it's so well done. Wanda's scene of, like, you took everything from me. I don't even know who you are. Just brings on new dimensions with WandaVision. If you haven't watched that show, definitely watch it. Spider-Man's activate instant kill. Again, like, if you haven't seen Homecoming, how have you even seen this and appreciated it? The final scene where he's like, I am inevitable, I am Iron Man. It's the perfect line. Like, you can't do anything better than that. Like, it's so great. The scenes where Jon Favreau is happy with Morgan. Jon Favreau started the Marvel Universe with directing Iron Man. So to see him, like, all these years later and he's still around, it's great. It's really well done. The funeral is one of the best movie cinematic shots ever. Going from person to person. I love how everybody's like, who's the teenage kid? It's Harley from Iron Man 3. I wish he'd spoke or done something. I hope to see him return at some point. It's great. Putting Valkyrie in charge of Asgard because it's the Asgardians of the Galaxy, which I know Thor is having his 4th movie, and I think he's in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So, I mean, Hemsworth's doing great with the Marvel Universe. And then, of course, Old Cap is the perfect setup for the next show that's coming out right now, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But still, like, the man lived his life. Like, he did what he sought to do, and he had his dance with Peggy. So the whole movie, it's so emotional. It's so good. It's very well done. They balance a lot of characters in ways that have never really been done before in cinematic history. And so, I don't know. Is it, like I said, is it the perfect movie? No, it's not a perfect movie. It definitely has its flaws. But it's a good movie. And the fact that it's the 22nd movie, and it's 3.5 hours, the fact that it can even be a good movie is impressive. So I'm really sad that this is the last that the Russo brothers are related to, but it every time has to come to an end. So I'm super excited to see where the Marvel Universe goes after this. I know COVID threw a wrench in everything, but I have faith in Marvel that they will do good things. So, curious what people think about this. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. And I'll see you guys next time for Spider-Man Far From Home.